Hi, I'm Tim Van Orden, and this is Start Here. I'm out in Woodford, Vermont, running through the snow today, enjoying this beautiful spring that we're having, and exploring the woods. And one of the things that I'm noticing today is that there are a lot of new streams that have just shown up out of nowhere. They weren't there this past week. And what you'll see is solid snow, and all of a sudden the snow melts and there's a little stream running for a few feet, and then it goes back under the snow again, and then it appears maybe 50 feet later, and you've got these like intermittent bursts of flowing water in the midst of this frozen landscape. And it reminds me of the human condition, the winters that we go through in our own lives, which is one of my favorite topics to talk about. Shall I compare thee to a winter's day? Anyways, I'm looking at these streams coming and going. It's making me think about people coming out of dark times, people coming out of a winter, a period of stasis, a period of stillness, a period of inactivity. And as we start to warm up and as the sun starts to shine in our life, we begin to flow again. But not everywhere, not our entire being, not our entire body, but little spots. Little places within us start to wake up and start to flow and start to rejoice and start to break through to the surface and feel the sun. And it's like, yes! And they take that warmth back underground again and they start warming other aspects of our inner being before they re-emerge to grab some more sunlight and bring some more warmth down under the protective layer that we have created so that we can melt it from the inside. And not only is this a beautiful thing to see in the physical world, but it's also a beautiful thing to see happen with a human being when they start to warm up and come out of that shell. But at the same time, it can be really problematic. So one has to be careful. People on the outside think that depressives are just being lazy, they're being melodramatic, they're doing too much navel gazing, they're simply just being babies. Get over it, cheer up, come on, move your body, let's get going. But it's not that simple. Just like the water that's all around me right now can't flow. It's locked. It's in a state of stasis. It's going to take a while to get all this water to turn into liquid and to get it to flow. We can't just change it overnight. I can't yell at the snow and say, come on, just start flowing. Turn into a stream. What are you waiting for? Why are you just laying around doing nothing? Start flowing. Get over it. It's spring already. It's been spring for 3 weeks. Come on, people. But what people outside of depression don't understand is that there's a phenomenon that occurs in the brain of someone dealing with depression called psychomotor retardation, where it actually becomes more difficult to do physical activity. When someone is not depressed, engaging in physical activity is mentally easy and physically easy. But when they're in a depressed state, it's not only mentally challenging, but it's much, much, much harder physically to do that same activity, even if it's a minor activity. Even if it's getting out of bed and brushing your teeth and taking a shower. That simple act can be the equivalent of running 10 miles when you're depressed because of psychomotor retardation. It can take people a while to warm up, just like the flowing water. It starts with one little piece at a time. A little spot melts, grabs some sunlight, brings that warmth under, starts melting some more snow. It takes time. And it's not easy and it's not simple. When we go into a depression, when we're on that downward slope going down, 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 we're generally feeling quite pessimistic and we're looking at the world around us and it's not supporting us, it's not facilitating us. So every step that we take, we feel worse and worse and worse about ourselves and the world around us. So we just get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and more quiet and more still, just like this environment. But when we start to wake up, when we start to flow, when our psychomotor resources start to come back online and our body is able to engage again, this feels really good. We're waking up. We're like, yes, spring has arrived. And we want to go out there and take on the world. We want our life back. We want to reclaim our position, our status, our happiness, our friendships. We want it all back. And just like spring, the weather may be warming up, but it's still dangerous. You could still die of hypothermia out here. You could still freeze to death in this environment, even though it's spring, even though the water is flowing. you still have to be careful. What psychologists have found is that when people start to wake up out of a depression, this is actually the time that you need to worry the most about them. This is the time where most people commit suicide, not when they're going into the depression, but when they're coming out of it, when they start to flow again. Because we're looking at what we want to be, we're looking at what we could be, we're looking at what we lost, we're looking at where we should be, we're looking at what we want, and we don't have the resources yet, we don't have the full flow yet to go get it. So we want to engage in the world, we want to engage in our old life, we want our friends back, we want our job back, we want our money back, we want our status back, we want it all back. But we're not ready yet. We haven't fully melted. We haven't fully thawed. It's just like frostbite on your fingers. Freezing your fingers doesn't hurt. What hurts is thawing them back out again. When you go back in the house, you get back to your car and you turn the heater on and you put your fingers in front of the heat, that's when the pain comes. Not when they're freezing, but when they start to warm up. Same with depression. When you start to come out of that depression, you start to feel good about yourself. So you want to do more than you're ready to do. Which is why I talk about small steps and doing less. When you start to wake up, do less. Because your resources aren't fully online yet, and you're going to get frustrated, and you're going to beat yourself up. And you've got the physical resources now to do some damage. So if you find yourself waking up, that's a beautiful thing. But remember, less is more. Wait for all the snow to melt. Wait for all the water to dry up. Wait for the mud to go away. Wait for those first blossoms to start to show up and that green grass to start to sprout. Don't do too much too soon. You're not ready yet. I know you want to, and I know you want it all back right now, but you've got to take your time. You've got to wait for your body and your mind to come fully back online before you can start taking on big things again. Okay? So try to be patient, and remember, small steps will get you there. I don't care how big your goal is, small steps will get you there. So don't be afraid of small steps. Don't be afraid of playing small, because playing small over and over and over and over again will win you big. So enjoy your spring, but take it easy. Okay? Take it easy. I love you. Bye.